succulent growers, it's Lynn here, and in today's video it's a little bit of a video vlog of me watering some of my cacti and succulents that I have here in the polytunnel for the very first time after their long winter rest. Now, I'm not going to be watering all of the plants in the polytunnel because it's still very early March, and this time of year can be a little bit tricky because we can have some lovely warm, quite sunny days. As you can see today, I've got the polytunnel door open, letting the lovely fresh air coming in, freshening up the polytunnel. But at night time it's still getting pretty cold, and it was -1 last night. And although we have a heater on in the polytunnel that kicks on if it drops to 5 Celsius or below, and that's about 41 degrees Fahrenheit, it's still quite cool if they're sitting in sort of damp soil. And a lot of the cacti, particularly the desert cacti, are still pretty much dormant at this time of year. I've got many of them that are starting to show the signs of coming into bud, and I made a video last week on an update on the cactus and succulent polytunnel collection that's coming into bud, so do check that video out if you haven't already. I'll link that video up above, but I'll just show you there a bit of an example. There's some on my one of my Succulent bushes, little red flower buds forming as well, and on many of the other ones, so they're starting to wake up. But it is still very early days, and I'm going to wait another month before I start watering the majority of the desert cacti here in the polytunnel. However, saying that, I still have a lot of cacti that are pretty much shriveling very badly, and I'm going to show you the Opuntias here. And look at that. Talk about shrivel. There's one of my Opuntia humifusas that I've grown from seed, very shriveled there, and also quite a few of my other Opuntias. This is Opuntia salmiana, also known as Austrocylindra Opuntia salmiana, full of little fruits, as you can see, but look how shriveled it is. It is desperate, and it is literally just hanging over. That's even hanging all over the other Opuntias there, and it definitely needs a good drink. Also, some other Opuntias there, you can see, very shriveled. And some of the other ones as well, some of my younger seedlings as well that I've got here, they could do with a bit of a drink. And as I say, although Opuntias, commonly known as the prickly pear, are also desert cacti, they personally, this is only my experience, I find when I water them, if a bit early in the year like this in March, I find no harm comes to them. They can take a lot more moisture than the other types of desert cacti do. And I'm still going to be keeping the majority of these Opuntias all dry until next month again, another month at least. But as I say, what I will do in this video is I'm just going to be focusing on the ones that are clearly shriveling, as you can see here, because I think they need a bit of a good drink. So I'm going to give them a bit of a drink, and also some of my tephro cacti as well. Most of these, again, they'll be okay for another month like that. This one here is very shriveled, so I'm going to have to give that a drink, the ones that are in the smaller pots. And also here, another one of my tephro cacti as well, also very shriveled. So they're the ones I'm going to be giving water. And also my epiphytes. I have a lot of epiphyllum cacti that I'm very happy to say are coming into bud. Very excited about that, as you can see, buds on them there, and they are going to need a bit of a drink as well. This is my Ripsalis as well, my Bachyphera, and that's also quite shriveled. Now my Slumbergeras as well are looking a bit shriveled, so they're going to need a bit of water. This hasn't had any watering really throughout the winter time. I've sprayed it a little bit with a bit of rainwater, but it's very shriveled, so they're going to need a good drink as well. And also my Ripsalidopsis Easter cactus, also it's in bud, that's going to need a good water. And then the string of pearls, that's very shriveled, and the string of tears as well, that's going to need a good water in there. So I'm going to be doing that. Some of the aloes as well. This aloe here is very shriveled, that's going to need watering, and also one of my Haworthias there too. And some of the crassulas, they go a bit pale when they need a good drink. And some of these as well, some of my agaves, this one is looking very shriveled. And also a few of the aloes and Haworthias up here as well. And this beautiful little succulent here, it's absolutely beautiful. This is a sedum, and that's got loads of beautiful little tiny flowers on it, but this goes very pale because it needs a good water. So as you can see, a few I have to water here. My lovely Crassula Jade ovata, variegata, that's shriveled, that needs a good water. And Some of these as well, the echeverias, I'm going to be giving these a good water as well. Only some of them. And this lovely Kalanchoe here, this is a beautiful one as well. That's going to have a good water. And also some of the other succulents, as you can see there. And then I've got also some of my Slumbergeras very shriveled down here. So they're going to have a very good drink today. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Now I've made my little water pump up there. And what I've done, I've put a very, very dilute amount of tomato fertiliser in there. Now, I normally start them off with a tomato feed from the spring and the summer, and I use it on all the succulents and the cacti. It really does help to encourage blooming. And I've made a whole video on why I like to use tomato fertiliser to fertilise my cacti and succulents. So do check that out if you want to know. And because this is going to be the first watering I give them, I've actually going to be using quarter of the strength. I've already mixed it up there. Quarter of the strength of the tomato feed. Normally from the spring and summer I use half the strength of what they recommend for tomatoes, but because this is their first watering of the year, I'm going to be using quarter of the strength. So here we go then, guys. I'm not going to show you the whole process of watering all the ones. As I mentioned, the ones I'm going to be watering. I'm just going to show you a few little stages of me watering them. Now I'm going to start off first with these, the shrivelled punchers, give them a really, really, really good drink there. And as I say, I'm only doing the ones that are actually wrinkled. I'm not going to be doing any of the other punchers because they're still better off being kept dry now until another month when I can give them all a really good watering and start them all off again. This is just because they're very, very shrivelled at the moment and we've had some good sunny weather. So that's all I'm going to be doing. That's all the ones I'm going to be doing there. And obviously these Salmianas, because just look how wrinkled they are, guys. So they're going to really benefit from a really, really good drink. And make sure they're giving them a thorough watering. Not enough so they're actually dripping in water, but just enough to give them a good water so all the soil is uniformly moist. Haworthia as well. Give that a good watering. As you can see, it's clearly shrivelled. And then my other aloe over here. So I'm only going to be watering the aloes that are very shrivelled. Oops. Succulents as well. Such a good feeling to get watering again. Oh my god, I love it. And I just cannot wait till I can start all the plants up, all the desert type of cacti back into the watering schedule again. But it's just too early yet. Better safe than sorry. But these, as you can see, are very desperate to be watered. I just can't leave it any longer with these. Some of the succulents as well on these, the Crassula rivata. See where many of these crassulas are very, very dehydrated. So good watering with these. With the echeverias, I'm just going to be watering the ones I said that the leaves are also very shrivelled on these. So. Again, these are little ones I'm just starting off from leaves, so they need a good thorough water too. Some of these, although these have actually got buds forming on them, as you can see, the leaves themselves are pretty plump, so I don't think I need to water them. Better safe to leave it for a little bit longer before watering, as the leaves are nice and plump on them, so don't need to worry about these. I'm just going to focus on the ones that I know are shrivelling and need a good drink. So let's have a look what else needs to be watered here. Not too bad. Maybe this, see the leaves are shrivelling on this Crassula, so give this one a good drink. So this aloe here, very shriveled, so it's good to give the aloes a really good drink as well. And I say this crassula as well, looking very pale and limp like lettuce, so I make sure that I put the watering nozzle deep as I can, right close to the root system, so I can thoroughly soak the roots there. And this one also, this aloe, also looking a little bit dehydrated. So I want to make sure that the soil is completely moist, but without it being too soggy, because I want it to dry out quick as well, as it's still early in the year. And I think that's probably okay under there. The other aloe's all okay. And the same with up here. This one I'll probably just give this another bit of a watering as well. Deep into the root system, as you can see, that's very shriveled. And I think that's pretty much okay. This aloe as well, as you can see, this is the aloe black gem. It's looking very, very black at the moment. It's okay, just very shriveled, and aloe tends to curl itself up in its leaves when it's desperate for water. So this one I'm also going to give a good drink. Lumbageras under here as well, some Ripsalis and Ripsalidopsis here. Also need to have a bit of a water. These are ones I've grown from seed here. So I have still been giving them a wee bit of water over the winter time. So this isn't the first watering for these, but I have not been giving them a lot, obviously. Just enough to stop them from shriveling. Now the aeniums, I've got a collection of different types of aeniums on here, and these are looking very pale. Also got the dead leaves I need to remove, but I'll do that when I do my pre-spring jobs to do soon. I'm just going to give all these a bit of a water. These have not been watered at all either since about September time, so these are desperate for a good drink. You can always tell with aeniums when the leaves go very limp as well, when they need to have a good water. Epiphyllum German Empress, very wrinkled too. That's a good watering. As you can see, there's lots of dead flower heads and everything like that. I do need to do a bit of pruning and removing dead flower heads, so probably in the next few days I'll make a video of all the pre-spring jobs that you need to do with your cacti and succulents in preparation for spring, as I have quite a lot to do here in the polytunnel. As you can see, there's dead flower heads on the floor and lots to do. I'm going to be checking for old bits of buds and everything like that to remove. And I'm so looking forward to starting up with a neem oil again, because I like to spray all the plants in the polytunnel with horticultural neem oil mixed with horticultural soap, because that really helps to prevent any pests. I found the odd mealybug while I've not been using it over the winter, and I've been picking it off with the rubbing alcohol, but it's so good to use the neem oil, so I can't wait to get started up with that again. And as I say, to get watering all of these other desert cacti hopefully in the next month when it's warm enough to start watering again. And hope you enjoyed that little bit of a video vlog of watering some of the cacti and succulents for the first time after winter. As I say, it's mainly just all the ones that needed it that are looking shriveled, and they should start to plump up a little bit now over the next few days. And if you want to know how to water cacti and succulents, then do check out the video I've made on how to water cacti and succulents. I'll link that video also up above. And also, if you want to know if you should be watering your cacti and succulents and when to start watering them after winter, I've also made a video about that as well, on how to know when to start watering your cacti and succulents after their winter rest. So do check that video out. Links also up above and down below. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you haven't done already, please do subscribe. Don't forget to give that notification bell a like. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Desert Plants of Avalon. And for more growing tips, do check out my website, desertplantsofavalon.com. I want to wish you all an amazing plant-powered day and happy growing.